Hi there. So, in Module 1, Part 2, we move on to poetry from the ancient Mediterranean. So, the Mediterranean is a sea that connects Africa, Europe, and part of the Middle East. In ancient times, this sea was the heart of commerce and was also the center of Greek and then later Roman empires. Ancient Greece was the home of the poet Sappho. She lived on the island of Lesbos, which is a Greek island that's actually pretty far east, very close to Turkey. Sappho's love poetry is directed to female lovers. So, her poetry was so popular that the term lesbian, which really would just mean an inhabitant of Lesbos, in the 19th century, that became a term to refer to homosexual female relationships. So we can thank Sappho for helping us create the term lesbian. In her poem number 1, Sappho asks the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite, to help her. She loves a woman who does not love her back. So she asks Aphrodite for help because the goddess of love has the power to make people fall in love, and that's what Sappho needs her to do for her. So Sappho describes how Aphrodite's help will change things for her. She says, and I quote, "For if she flees, soon she will pursue. If she refuses gifts, rather will she give them. If she does not love, soon she will love, even unwilling." So, in that quote, we see several different situations that Aphrodite would change if she cast her spell on the woman Sappho loves. With Aphrodite's help, this other woman will not be able to stop falling in love with Sappho. She'll pursue her instead of running away. She'll give her gifts instead of refusing her gifts, if Sappho gets Aphrodite's help. This poem also shows us two main things we see in a love poem. We see a beloved and the speaker's desire to be near them. So the word beloved literally just means the one who is loved. And all love poems contain a reference to a person the poet wants to be closer to, that he or she is in love with. The poem describes the beloved and the desire of the poet to be near them. That desire is the second important aspect of the love poem. So we see these characteristics in the poems from ancient Egypt as well. Ancient Egypt had a long civilization. We have the pyramids left from their ancient civilization, as well as a wealth of stories and artwork. So the poems we have from ancient Egypt were actually performed at feasts, as scholars believe, and there are different speakers in each poem. We have male and female speakers. Now, these poems, unlike Sappho, are heteronormative, meaning it's between male and female lovers. In My God, My Lotus, we have a female speaker and a male speaker. In I Wish I Were Her Nubian Maid, we have several male speakers describing their desire to be near a woman who is unattainable. I mean, she has a maid after all. She's probably a very wealthy, beautiful woman. Many love poems describe what we call unrequited love, meaning love that is not returned, which we see in I Wish I Were Her Nubian Maid. Both Sappho and the male speakers in the ancient Egyptian poems all express desire for someone who either doesn't notice them or just doesn't love them back. These poems are rich in description, so in your discussion answers, use specific references to the words in the poems to support your answers. And I'll see you on the discussion board.